Hello everyone, Big Game out here with a sore throat, back again with another video. So, it's a bit of a strange one because it's a VR, but it wasn't put out as a VR. So, a week or so ago, Callum over at Retro Ghetto put out a video basically about his top 10 retro style games on modern systems. And Eddie over at RollerXcore, with a silent X in the middle, put a VR out to it. And since then we've had a couple from Ross over at Boar and Gordon from Gib84. So yeah, I thought that I'd do my take. So I have picked out 10 retro games on modern systems. Or retro-inspired games, shall we say. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a little VR and just show you the sort of games that I like, because, alright, a couple of these have been on other people's videos, but there's some here what haven't. So, I have played all of these. I just haven't finished all of them apart from 2, which I saved to the end, the last 2. So yeah, but I have streamed a few of these, so you might have seen me playing them on stream. Right, so first up for the PlayStation 4 is Final Vendetta. So yeah, this was put out by Numskull, and it is pretty much just a clone, rip-off, whatever you want to call it, remake of Streets of Rage. And yeah, it's literally just a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Great fun. You can get 2 players on it. You would have thought, like, being up to the PS4 standard with 3 characters, you might have been able to play 3 players now, but no. They're still keeping it at 2 players, but yeah, it's great fun. And, yeah, I didn't get very far in it. I think I put the level too high. But yeah, I managed to beat a couple of bosses. In fact, the bosses on it are pretty easy. Well, the early stage ones anyway. But yeah. If you do like your side-scrolling beat-em-ups, grab yourself a copy of Final Vendetta. Right, what have I got next? So next is even better because it's 2 games in one. We have got the Escapist and the Escapist 2. So this is obviously on the Xbox One, made by Team 17. And yeah, basically you're playing as a basically a convict. You're in prison. You're trying to escape. You can either sneak around stealthily collecting items and try and escape that way, or you can beat the guards up, and if you manage to beat them all up, you basically can escape. But if you've only beat one up, they set the alarm off. Or you get spotted, they set the alarm off. And yeah, you're trapped in there, and you have to beat up like 4 guards, and then the alarms get reset, and you can finally escape. So yeah, this is a 2D top-down style little game. Yeah, so it's a very retro-inspired. You can either do it as a strategy game, or you can go around and beat everyone up. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Need to get back to it. Need to play the second one. Right, the third one. I'm surprised no one's picked this one yet, but I did actually do this on a stream. It was picked out by everyone in the group. They wanted to watch me play it. And that was Alboy. So it's basically a 2D platformer where you play as a boy that's basically an owl, so he can fly as well. And yeah, you got to go around, find stuff, do like little missions, obviously, to unlock different abilities to get through different areas, and beat a few bosses. I think I got stuck on the flying boss like about an hour and a half in, and I've not got back to it yet. I don't even see him on the front here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. One I need to actually get back and finish. I don't think it's a very long game. And I know Callum played this and beat it. I'm surprised he never had it in his top 10. But yeah, there you go. Alboy. Right, one he did have in his top 10 though is Axian Verge. So this is your more Metroidvania style game. your 2D, well, you can call it a platformer as well, but you've got to go around, basically find stuff, level yourself up with different weapons to get different abilities to get to different areas and to defeat different enemies. So yeah, it's very, very, very retro style. The only other one which I can probably compare to this, obviously not as good as this, is Exo Drifter or Axian Drifter for the released by Limited Run Games. So yeah, this one's the more easier to get version. Right, the next one I absolutely love. I'm surprised that no one spoke about this one yet, but this is probably one of the weirdest games you're going to play. Very, very retro looking when you're playing it, and that is 88 Heroes. So yeah, so basically you have 88 characters, there's 88 levels, and you've got 88 minutes to save the world, as it says. And to do them levels, it's basically a speed run game. You've got, so there's 88 different heroes, they all have different abilities and stuff, but once they die, that hero's gone. You can't use that one again. So it's all luck on what heroes you get in each, going through the game, which order you get them in. But yeah, like I say, it's great. You've basically got to get yourself around the levels, get to the end to save whatever it was. I can't remember what you got to get to now. Save a little person, because you're just going so fast. I'm gonna have to stream this just to show you what it's like, or at least do a video of it. It is absolutely brilliant. I've recommended it to a few people before in the past, so yes, do pick yourself up a copy of 88 Heroes. And if you get it on the Switch, I believe they do a 99 hero version where they've got extra stuff on it. But yeah, my PS4 version, I think it has got some extra stuff on it, just not fully extra. Right, next up is, well, I suppose this technically is an old game, but it's remade for the PS4, and that is Wonder Boy, the Dragon Trap. Again, 2D platformers for the retro is absolutely brilliant, and with this you can put it in to how it looks now, or you can press a button and it puts it back into the retro mode of what it would look like back in like 1988 or whenever it was, years ago. And it just looks really, really good. Obviously it's the Master System version. I have changed the cover around. There is a reversible cover on it. It comes with a mini CD and everything. But yeah, there's the PS4 cover. So obviously you can have that artwork, or you can change it to the retro style, which I prefer. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. You obviously, as you're going through, drop the CD out of it. I'll get that after. As you're going through, there's different characters you turn into. Obviously they have different abilities. So you've got a pig, a lion, there's a little mouse, got a dinosaur thing. I think there's a bird or something, some sort of fish thing you do for the underwater levels. But yeah, it's basically just like that, like the old school style on a modern system. And if I haven't sold it to you, go out and play it. Right, next up we have got an absolute belter of a game. Again, this is one I've streamed. Absolutely loved it. Need to get back and finish it because I don't think it's very long. I've done the first area. I think there's only 3 or 4 areas. It's not a very long game. And apparently it gets a lot harder as it goes through, because I'm finding it pretty easy at the moment. And that is Kays and the Many Masks. And the Wild Masks, not Many Masks. And this is basically a Sonic the Hedgehog style game. But obviously you're playing as this rabbit that can fly. So you're trying to speed run the levels. You collect little gems along the way. And yeah, obviously when you get to like 100 gems you get another life. But it gets a bit tricky. You can use your ears to like grab hold of ropes above you and swing yourself across and all stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just finding it really great. And again, it's one I need to get back to. Right, nearly there. 3 more to go. Next up, we have got Flockers. Yes, this is again another Team 17 game. They like making their retro style games. So obviously Team 17 made the original Worms, and basically this is a Lemmings version now they've made. So, but with sheep, and the sheep get killed a lot more gruesome than the Lemmings ever did. So obviously with this artwork and stuff, Team 17 know what they're doing. And if you got kids, don't let them play this. It says 16 on it, it should be an 18. It's some gruesome deaths on there. A lot of blood. The poor sheep. So basically you're just trying to get the sheep to the exit and try and save as many as possible, but obviously you can't save them all. But yeah, there's some gruesome deaths in here. I mean, that picture there just says it all. So yeah, if you do like your strategy style games and you loved Lemmings back in the day, maybe worth getting Flockers, and it's only like £3 or £4. So it's not even an expensive game. Alright, next up we have got the 2 games that I've beat. I've not beat it on this system yet though. I had it on the PS4. I beat it on the PS4. I now have the Xbox One version to beat it again. I started playing it and I need to get back to it. Because it's one of them things, I play it, I stream it a bit. And then when I finish the stream, I don't go back to playing it. And I should. And that is because it is Shovel Knight. So this is the Treasure Trove one. So Shovel Knight, so you're playing as this little knight here. You've probably seen him in many games. He's got a shovel as a weapon. And yeah, he goes around. He uses that shovel to dig through stuff. He uses that shovel to bounce as well. It's a very, very good game. 2D platformer, side-scrolling. Well, I say side-scrolling, you have to go through the level up and down. And there's checkpoints along the way. There's achievements on here for if you go for it and you don't... Because you have to get the checkpoint, you just hit it. But if you smash it, that checkpoint don't exist no more and you have to go back to basically the beginning if you haven't saved any other checkpoints. So there's an achievement for going through and smashing every checkpoint on the way to beating the game. So that's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's very, very retro style. Definitely one worth picking up. I mean, I know Callum spoke very highly of this. And yeah, go check his video out because he talks about these games a lot more than I do. And yeah, he obviously puts a lot more effort into his videos and learns a lot more about them, whereas I'm just telling you to play it. But yeah, once you beat the game, you unlock the ability to play as the bad guys as well as other good guys. So yeah, there's plenty of different ones you can go through. So once you beat it with Shovel Knight, don't think the game's over there. I will tell you at the end though, you go through the game and you have to beat different bosses throughout the game. And then at the end there's like a boss rush where you've got to beat every single boss in order again with no saving, nothing. You just got to beat them all in order, and that took me a few nights, but I finally got there. And yeah, that was definitely a game that I recommend. Not so much as this last one though, because this one is an absolute belter. And if anyone hasn't played it, what are you doing? Go and get yourself a copy now, because if you've been in the past and you like your Wonder Boy games and stuff like that, you need to get yourself Axian. So I don't think there's an Xbox One version because I'd love to play it again. But it's definitely on the Switch and the PS4. It's a very, very 8-bit styled platforming at its very best. You play as this little guy here, who I believe is Axian, and you're trying to save the kingdom and marry the princess. But my word, some of the bosses on here, that dragon. If I told you that dragon took me about 5 nights, I was rage quitting God knows how many nights. I eventually beat it. You just got to work out the patterns. Once you work out the patterns, it's easy. But yeah, there's some hard ones on there. You've got to race a bird. You've got to try and get to its nest before it does, to get different abilities. Basically, you earn hearts as you go through and level up and stuff. And you obviously want to try and get all the hearts and all the levels as quick as you can. So it obviously gives you more health for when you're fighting these bad guys. And my God, I thought this guy here should be the final boss. He was much harder than the actual final boss. The final boss, I thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be another like 5-day slog. I beat it first go. The very first attempt, I beat it. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, is there going to be more? Is it going to be like Shovel Knight, where they're going to just keep chucking bad like the bosses at you? But thankfully, it wasn't. And yeah, the boss before the final boss, literally the one you play just before you fight the final boss, I found was harder than the actual final boss. But yeah, that was just me. Maybe some people struggle with the final boss and beat all these other ones easy. Maybe someone went and beat the dragon very first go. Who knows? But yeah, there you go. It's very, very, very retro styled. You obviously play underwater levels. You're in the sky. You meet different people along the way that help you. You can buy abilities. Just all sorts. Just lots of different. There's teleport systems as well. So once you get on it, you can teleport to different areas. The hardest part before the dragon is actually trying to work out what the code was. There's basically like a crossroad bit, and you have to like drop down and either like try and go left or right to get the right order of the code. It was quite odd, but yeah, got there in the end. And yeah, I definitely recommend Aglius. So you're probably fed up of me waffling on now about games I don't know much about, but I have played all of them and I do recommend them all. So yeah, I will link Callum's channel and I will link all the other videos of the people who have done VRs, and you can go and check them out and watch their ones, because they go into the games a lot more depth, and a lot of them have beat all the games. So yeah, it's a little bit different to me. I play them, but I don't sit there and play them all the way through, whereas I should. But yeah, Aglius and Shovel Knight, definitely two you should be playing all the way through. 100% recommended. So yeah, that just leaves me to say thank you all for watching. If you're new, like, subscribe, hit the little bell, that little jazz, let you know when I put out another rubbish video for you to watch. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.